weird wedding traditions. So I mentioned there was a wedding in Geelong a couple of months ago that went seriously pear-shaped. The bride and one of the groomsmen had a fight over the angel table, the table for dead friends and relatives. Anyway, it's been alleged that the bride then picked up a knife and slashed the groomsman's face. She's going to do, as people do these days, she won't go to prison. She'll be doing 350 hours of unpaid community work to say sorry. But I was intrigued by the angel table. Never heard of that before. Joining me on the line now, social media and content manager at Easy Weddings, Lucy Partington. Good evening.
Hi, how you going?
Good. Is the angel table a new thing?
I have seen a few people doing an angel chair or a frame table where they have photo frames of loved ones that could be there. Not so much an entire table. A lot of people don't want to use up that valuable real estate that could be taken by other people, unfortunately, and they're choosing to honour their relatives in other ways.
Yes, I'm familiar with the kids' table at weddings where you've just put everybody's children, but the angel table where you just have vacant places for those who are deceased seems a bit odd. What about groomsmen who, instead of having a best man, have a best woman instead? Is that becoming more common?
Definitely, especially with the impact of same-sex marriage on how people are choosing to spend their days. A lot of people are deciding that they're choosing their best woman or their best man based on the relationship rather than the gender, which I think is really great.
Right, okay. What about bouquets? Traditionally, the bride towards the end of the wedding would throw it over her shoulder and all the single women would gather and compete with each other to catch it, and the one who caught it would be the next one to get married. Is that still done?
It's still done to some extent, but I think it's completely antiquated. A lot of my single friends don't want to line up and clutch at a bunch of flowers in hopes of being the next one to get married. And I think it's exactly the same with the garter toss. Men feel uncomfortable going to catch that, and also the person that's having the garter retrieved from their thigh while grandma watches, it's a little bit uncomfortable, the whole thing. Yes,
I've only seen the garter toss twice, and I found it very strange. Now, I'm told also that an increasing number of brides are choosing not to wear white. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, so on our blog on easyweddings.com.au, we've had a lot of real weddings couples that are submitting their weddings to be featured on our blog wearing pink. It's very common to wear blush now. So a blush pink, a pale pink is very common, as well as a few that do wear black or blue or another colour that's just a feature colour that they really like. A lot of people find that they don't actually think the white suits them, even though it's what's on trend. So it's really interesting.
Now, I'm told by my producer that when you got married, you had no one escorting you down the aisle. Why is that?
That's true. So I decided that I would walk myself down the aisle because I didn't believe that I was my father's property. And I don't think he thinks so either.
No.
So we discussed it, and I decided that I would have my parents walk down before me, and then I would go down by myself. And a lot of people thought that was a bit strange, but honestly, it was the most natural thing to me, so I thought that was fine. And with all this drama about Meghan Markle walking herself down the aisle potentially, or having her mother, I just don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, no, you might be right. This royal wedding might change trends in the wedding business. Well, what are some of the strangest things you've seen in weddings?
Wedding llamas, that's pretty interesting.
What? A wedding llama?
Yeah, a lot of people are hiring llamas and dressing them up and having them as part of their wedding as like a photo opportunity.
Why a llama?
I'm not entirely sure why llamas. I think people just like them. But there are a lot of other animals that are being included as well. Cows, horses, sheep. People are getting married on farms and having these photo opportunities with animals on their wedding day as well, which is really interesting. One of my favourites, though, is grandmothers as flower girls. So having both of your grandmothers walk down the aisle before you and toss flower petals like a flower girl would. I think that's really sweet.
Except that they're an older lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Llamas and grandmothers as flower girls. Okay, look, each to their own. I agree with you. I mean, I mentioned this before, Lucy, but I got married in a nightclub. Our celebrant was Greg Evans, who you probably don't remember, but he used to host a show called Perfect Match. And the only sort of person we had with us was our 2-year-old daughter, who had already been born, obviously 2 years before the wedding. So it was not exactly a traditional coupling of two people. Lucy Partington from Easy Weddings, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I mean, why would you pick a llama as your... if you're going to have an animal at a wedding, why a llama? And grandmothers as flower girls. Again, why not? Why not, indeed?